So it's 7:02, and we're reconvening the Board of Education meeting. Can we stand for the pledge briefly?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And again, I apologize to the audience for running a little bit behind schedule. We did have a session prior. I'll turn it over to Dr. Freitas for our recognitions this evening and our student board representative. Thank you.
Good evening, honorable board members. This evening we get to recognize our talented students and the coaches, teachers, and sponsors behind that success. Congratulations to senior Maria Ellis on qualifying for the IHSA Girls Swim State Meet in the 100-yard breaststroke. At the Hinsdale Central Sectional Meet, Maria qualified for the state meet with a personal record of 1 minute and 5 seconds. While she didn't qualify for the state meet in the 100 butterfly, she broke the previous RB school record with a time of 58.39 seconds. At state this year, Maria finished her swimming career by placing in the top 27 in the 100-yard breaststroke. Please join us in congratulating Maria Ellis.
Does the coach want to say a few words, Dr. Freitas?
Yes, I would like to invite head coach, Mr. Mike Lorich, to talk about Maria. Coach.
I'll be quick. Thank you, Dr. Freitas. He pretty much went over my speech. But she did a wonderful job. She just missed the state cut in the 100 butterfly by 100th of a second. But normally when a kid does that, they kind of roll over a little bit, and she was happy as a clam and just came back and put it through it. The biggest story about her is for the last 3 years, she's missed state by a 10th, a 100th every year. So finally to get her as a senior is a testament to just sticking with it and fighting all the way through. So thank you, Maria. We're going to miss you.
Next, congratulations to senior Lucia Bazana on qualifying for the IHSA Class 2A Girls Golf State Meet. At the Lockport Sectional, Lucia tied for 14th overall, 8 over par, and placed among the top 10 best individual scorers. At state, Lucia finished 73rd overall with a 2-round 174, 84, 89, ending her last RB golf round on a high note. Congratulations to Lucia Bazana. I'd like to invite head coach, Mr. Doug Schultz, and assistant coach, Mr. Reck.
Thank you, Board of Ed, Dr. Skinkis, for the opportunity to talk about our state qualifier, Lucia. Thank you, Erica and Mark, for giving Coach Reck and I these 4 years of witnessing a great Bulldog grow into a wonderful leader. Lucia is a special Bulldog. Lucia's unique work ethic, focus, and determination earned her the status of being one of the top golfers in our conference, in our region, and a state qualifier. Lucia started her state weekend with a bang. On her first hole of the tournament, Lucia chipped in her third shot for a birdie. After that, Lucia battled through the toughest course the state gives, and under very, very tough conditions. And at the end of the day, she earned the right to play in day 2. I need to mention that Lucia is truly the most coachable athlete we have had and is a pleasure to work with. Lucia took all the information our coaching staff gave her and then executed. But what I really need to inform you about is that Lucia really has a superpower. Lucia has the ability to never show frustration or lack of confidence while playing a game that breaks you down mentally. We are honored to know Lucia, to coach Lucia, and walk beside her during her state experience. Congratulations, Lucia.
The next student we'll be celebrating is Connor Dominic. Congratulations to senior Connor Dominic on qualifying for the IHSA Class 3A Boys Golf State Meet. At the Peyton Sectional, Connor tied for 15th overall with an even par of 72 and placed among the 10 best individual scorers. At state, Connor tied for 67 with a 163, 79 and 84 for 36 holes on a par 72 course. Congratulations on an amazing golf career, Connor. Coach Posen couldn't make it this evening. Next, RBHS Educators Rising Club students competed in the Education Team-Based Challenge at Triton College, joining more than 350 students from 15 schools. In small groups, they had 3 hours to design a lesson plan for elementary students that met learning standards, including accommodations and incorporated assessment strategies. The winning group in the elementary section created a lesson plan on the life cycle of a butterfly, complete with 3 engaging activities. Both teams were just 1 point away from a perfect score. Excellent work, Bulldogs and champions. We'd like to recognize first Eliana Giampetro, who's not here this evening because she's actually singing in the holiday concert. Emma Havrivari. Emma, come on up. And Isabel Morello, come on up. And now I would like to invite our Educators Rising Club sponsor, division head and applied arts teacher, Ms. Kendra Keiko.
First, I would like to say thank you for recognizing these young ladies. Their competition was pretty intensive because we didn't know what to expect. They didn't know what task they were going to be given when they got there. They didn't know what grade level. They didn't know what accommodations they were going to have to make for these students. So they got the opportunity to learn how to navigate ISB, and as educators we know that is a challenge. They learned how to modify lessons to make sure it's equitable for every learner in the classroom. And one thing I want to commend these young ladies on, which was really amazing, as we were leaving, their judge actually stopped us on the way out of Triton and pulled someone that they were speaking to us and said, these were the young ladies I was telling you about. They did such an excellent job. They got out of their comfort zone by doing an interactive song and dance for their lesson plan as their attention getter, which I thought was really impressive. So I'm very, very proud of them, and they are setting the bar very high for our future educators. So good job, girls.
Good job.
Honorable board member and superintendent, that concludes our recognitions. If I could have the students and families and coaches and teachers, please join us for pictures, okay? Outside.
Congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
job,
Thank you, Dr. Freitas.
Great job, guys. Get your script ready.
Yep. Sure. A quorum being present, the now second order of business is to hold a public hearing to receive public comments on the proposal to sell bonds in the amount not to exceed $4,500,000 for the purpose of increasing the working cash fund of the district. All persons desiring to be heard will have an opportunity to present written or oral testimony regarding the proposal. First, Dr. Spatana will present and explain the reasons for the proposed issuance of the working cash fund bonds. We did have a presentation from Raymond James a few weeks ago, and so I think we'll hear a shortened version of that this evening.
Yes, good evening. As the district knows, the district's in negotiations to enter into a sublease agreement with Brookfield Zoo to renovate the property north of the high school. Campus improvements will address accessibility, parking, safety, and extracurricular facilities. I attached the November presentation from our bond counsel, Liz Hennessy. If you could go to board book page 15. So on that page, this is the $4.5 million option for issuing bonds, and as you can see, the bonds would be issued for 4 years, and then if you go all the way to the right, you'll see the proposed impact on a $400,000 home. There continued to be a tax savings to our taxpayers for our debt service while still issuing the bonds that we need for these capital projects. Tonight, we're not issuing bonds tonight. We're not asking the board to issue bonds tonight. The purpose of this hearing is to provide an opportunity for public comment on the bonds. And then later on, we'll ask the board to approve a resolution of an intent for the bonds. So, the primary goal for these bonds, we would, the purpose is to increase working cash, and then the district would later move the funds from working cash to capital projects, and they'd be earmarked for capital projects. The board at the last meeting asked the administration to include a draft list of capital and life safety projects. This is part of the district goals that the board is working on. So it's really just a rough draft right now, but if you could go to
19.
Thank you, 19. I included a preliminary, I need to flip that, a preliminary list of the other projects that need to be done, and broke it down by capital projects as well as projects that we believe would qualify for life safety. So as you can see, we have a lot of projects coming up in the near future that we could use the $4.5 million towards should this project not come to fruition. And again, this is just a really rough draft. We haven't worked with our architect and our construction manager in great detail yet, but I did want to put this together. As we spoke on briefly last meeting, we had the big referendum and renovation, and all of those things, roofs and HVAC units specifically, are going to need to be replaced in the near future.
So I think there's three important things I just want to summarize for the board if there's no other questions. Number one, and make sure this is clear for the public record, the 4.5 issuance does not increase property taxes for debt service. Actually, the homeowners will still experience a property tax reduction in debt service. I think that's important for the public to understand. Number two, this is not, these are not working cash bonds intended to be used for operating expenses like salaries or contract negotiations. These are used, the intent of the issuance of these will be for capital projects. So once we get the working cash funds, we'll move them to Fund 60, which is our capital project fund. And then number three, the board wanted to see this list that Dr. Smetana just covered. I know I'm repeating it, but I think it's important for everybody in attendance. There's more than enough work to be done with that 4.5.
I was just curious, what's the alumni lounge work that's being done?
So in 2 years ago, when we did the culinary lab in the alumni lounge, we lost that as a meeting space for teacher development and teacher PD and workshops and large group meetings. So what we're going to do is convert the teacher's CAF. We're going to put up the portable wall that can slide out so we can use half that space for professional development and large group meeting and still have a teacher's cafeteria.
I think we talked about that even at the time, right? It was a better use of the teacher's cafeteria. Yeah, this was, thank you for putting this list together. I'll start by saying that. I think we talked about this, and you're like, oh, it won't be a problem, and it's clearly not a problem, right? This is an aging building. There's infrastructure needs, and I think this gives the board something to start thinking on, that the needs in the district are extensive and not always very public-facing, but they're necessary. So thank you for that. I did want to ask, we had looked at a couple of different stepped options when Liz Hennessy was here, the 3.5, 4, and 4.5. This evening, we're looking at the 4.5, though, just because of the nature of the need. I want to make sure we're being clear on that.
Correct. That's the recommendation from the administration.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any other questions. Questions from anyone on the board? Comments? Anyone from the public here to comment on the hearing this evening? Seeing none. All persons who desire to be heard have been given the opportunity to present testimony with respect to the proposed issuance of the working cash fund bonds. Can we have a motion to adjourn this public hearing portion of our meeting?
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, moves that the December 9, 2025 public hearing be adjourned.
Second.
A second from Mr. Williams. We do need a roll call.
Mr. Caputo?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gaska?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Mr. Novak?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Davis?
Yes. Motion carries and the hearing is adjourned. We're now going to have a hearing on the 2025 tax levy. It's a night of hearings for everyone. watching from home. This is the public hearing on the 2025 tax levy. Due notice has been given of the public hearing on the 2025 tax levy, and all other statutory requirements preliminary to the holding of such public hearing have been complied with. The proposed tax levy was first presented at a November board meeting. Dr. Skinkis and Dr. Smetana will now present the 2025 tax levy and answer any questions from the board.
One of the practices that I put in place, it's not required by the state unless you're asking for a property tax levy over 5%. We have not asked for a property tax levy over 5%, but we do ask for a 4.95 to ensure that we receive all new property values for the district's operating expenses. Dr. Smetana will present a copy of the levy, and also just remind the board and the public watching, this document is available online, and it does break it down so that you can see what column plus what column gets us to the numbers that we're requesting. Dr. Smetana?
Thank you. So as Dr. Skinkis said, we are proposing a 4.95% tax levy to capture as much as we can on new property. However, because we are in a tax-capped county, we will be capped by the Consumer Price Index for levy year 2025, which is 2.9%. If you go to Board Book page 40, one more page. Thank you. It's confusing because it's in two places tonight for the levy. But on this page, you'll see that column F is what, and I know it's very hard to read right now, you have to zoom in, but column F is the amount of money, the extension that we were entitled to receive in last year's tax levy, which is payable in 2025. As you know, we haven't received all that money yet in Cook County, but that is the money that we are entitled to receive. Looking at the next highlighted column in gray, column J, that's taking that extension and increasing it by 4.95%. That's what we'll be submitting to Cook County. And then column L, 2 columns over, the last column in gray, is realistically the amount of new money that the district can anticipate receiving in 2026 from this year's levy, and that is the extension at 2.9% plus the loss factor that Cook County adds in.
Were there any questions from any member of the board? I know we've gone over this previously, but we're here for additional questions. And seeing no one here from the public, we're going to move on. Seeing that there are no further comments from the public, I now declare the public hearing on the 2025 tax levy completed, and the regular meeting will now proceed. Can I have a motion to adjourn from this hearing portion?
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, moves that the December 9, 2025 public hearing be adjourned.
So moved. We need a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Williams, and we need a roll call, please.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gasko?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Mr. Novak?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Salas?
Yes.
Mr. Caputo?
Yes.
The motion carries, and we can return to the regular scheduled board meeting business. Thank you, everyone. We did cover recognitions, and now we do have reports. There was a superintendent report this evening, Dr.
All right, the
Skinkis.
short report, thank you. Senate Bill 637, the draft sublease agreement the board reviewed last month will be presented to the Forest Preserves Land Use Committee for consideration in January. I will continue to provide updates to the board as we work through the county approval process on this joint agreement. The facility plan, Dr. Smetana and I, you saw the rough draft that we provided tonight. Dr. Smetana and I are scheduled to meet with the district's architect and construction manager tomorrow to begin outlining a facility repair and improvement plan. This plan will identify the capital repairs and improvements needed for district facilities over the next 5 to 10 years and align with the board goal that you're approving tonight. End of first semester, final exams are scheduled for the week of December 15th, and winter break will run through December 22nd through January 2nd. The board and district will host their annual holiday breakfast for the staff on Wednesday, December 17th. I want to commend the faculty, staff, and students for a great first semester. As a reminder to the public, there is only one board meeting in January, and that will be on Tuesday, January 20th. As far as superintendent advisory councils, there's a policy advisory council that will need to be scheduled before February. The Press Plus Packet 120 is included as a first read in tonight's meeting packet. One other comment that I'd like to provide is my superintendent report. If you notice tonight, I'm wearing a T-shirt that says Socorro Strong. So we have a freshman student, Mateo Socorro, who is currently going through chemotherapy, who was recently diagnosed with cancer. And so the Junior Bulldogs are selling these shirts, and so we want to make sure that Mateo knows that he has the full support of the board and the district as he goes through his battle with cancer. And I also would like to recognize Nora Evans, who I believe is a junior. Nora is also going through some treatment and recently had surgery for a battle with cancer as well, or lymphoma. So I want to just make sure they both know that we got their backs and we are rooting for them as they make a full recovery. So thank you. That concludes my superintendent report tonight.
Thank you. Dr. Smetana, it is your.
Good evening. Tonight, we have our auditor, the district's auditor here, so I'd like to invite him up at this time to present the audit to the board. It's under informational items. As you know, the audit serves 4 purposes. It fulfills our annual requirement. It reviews internal controls within the district, verifies that the district has complied with regulations and grant requirements, and it summarizes the district's financial position. Every year we have our auditor, Chris, come and present, and so I will turn it over to him. There are 2 audits in the packet for you. There's our annual audit, and then we also were required to conduct a single audit again this year due to receiving over $750,000 in federal awards during last fiscal year. This has become a new practice. We thought it maybe at one point it would drop off for us, but this is the 5th year that we've had to do it, so I don't anticipate it going away anytime soon.
So we think there'll be a single audit again next year?
Yeah.
where we're heading.
But Tammy, if you could go to page 419, just a few more pages down. This is the part that begins the management's discussion, but Chris is just going to talk more globally about the audit tonight.
So good evening, members of the board and district officials. On behalf of Evans, Marshall, and Pease, I'm pleased to report that we have completed the audit of the financial statements and the single audit for the year end June 30, 2025. We issued unmodified or clean opinions on both of those reports, excuse me, which represents the highest level of assurance that I can provide as an auditor. I'm pleased to report that this year's audit went very smoothly, as I did not identify any findings, deficiencies, or material weaknesses that would need to be reported to the board. So this reflects very positively on the district's financial management practices, internal controls, and the hard work of the staff. I want to extend my appreciation to Kristen and the entire business office. Kristen was on a leave for part of this, so literally the business office really did a good job of getting this done with the help of Kristen remotely. So, typically that can create some issues, but, with the longevity and the resources and, my connection with the district, we were able to kind of work through those things and get things done on timely. So, again, I'd like to thank their efforts because it made our work both efficient and effective. In summary, the district continues to demonstrate strong financial stewardship and accountability to its community and its taxpayers. I thank you for the opportunity to serve as your auditors, and at this time I would be happy to answer any questions that the board does have regarding the audit report.
And the opinion letter, Chris, is on what page? Is that 420?
Kristen may have to help me with that because I have
the second and
Begins
third.
on 419.
419.
So I think if you could just repeat that part for the board. This is a clean opinion. There are no findings. I think that's the part that we want to emphasize.
Yeah, so I discussed that in the first little briefing, but I can go directly to the opinion. They recently did change this a few years ago to have it right in the front. So it does say, in our opinion, it's the second paragraph in the opinion, in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the respective financial position of the financial statements for the year ended, briefly summarizing, in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles in the United States, which is GAAP. So that's the bread and butter right there. So obviously that's something that you're striving for.
We appreciate that. Any questions from the board on this? It's obviously a thorough document. We appreciate your longevity here and having to do the single audit on top of it. I really did think we were going to be done.
I'll make a quick comment on that.
Yeah.
It's moving to $1 million in '26, so it's going to be close. I think we're just, we're kind of seeing like as funds keep increasing. We'll see. It all depends on special ed and some other things, but I'll keep an eye on that. That's the first thing I typically test, and then if we don't have to do it, then obviously that decreases the price for the audit as well. So obviously we'll be completely transparent with that as well.
Is Evan Marshall still doing the audit for the township treasurer?
Yes, we are.
Okay. No concerns on that front?
No, I was going to bring that up too. No, that's actually gotten a lot better. I think years ago there's some issues that we were kind of having, but it seems like Paul is straightening some things out over there.
The
but
current
we'll continue
treasurer,
to,
yeah.
work with them, and we've had no issues. We've had some issues with a couple other districts, but not this district. So that's
Okay, so there's no concern from your perspective on behalf of the district with the engagement with the township treasurer?
no
Clean opinion in the audit?
clean opinion.
Are they on the
Overall-
same schedule? I'm sorry, Ken. Are they on the same schedule to get their audit?
They are. That gets pushed out a little bit earlier, just because they're cash basis there. This district being accrual, I cannot release an audit report until I actually get the audit confirmation from my firm. So that kind of has to come first before I can finish this, because that's many districts in there that we have to go through each amount of cash and investments and make sure everything's reconciled. So it's basically like we're doing this audit times all the districts in that school. So it's a substantial amount of
But
work.
ultimately, it will be on their website, I would assume, Dr. Spatana, right?
They also provide a copy.
They do, okay. Yeah.
Is that something we should just post?
Yeah, I was wondering, is
Sure.
the
Post it,
audit
we can-
posted then for people to see, or no? Or is that something they
I
could
don't know
come
if
in?
they have a
and-
website.
Are we talking about the
do they?
township? It's on their website, it should be.
I don't
Oh,
think,
it's on their
I don't know if they
town.
have a
I
website.
think they finally
Did they finally get one?
They have a website. The township, Proviso
Yeah.
Township has a website. I don't know offhand if it's posted on there.
I don't see a problem with you guys not posting it, right? I can give you a PDF of it. And
Right, PDF,
post
we
it.
could post it if we wanted.
They do have a website.
I don't know what.
But is this something that
It's
citizens
historically,
want to look at?
I don't know if they want to from going through our audit is required to post, and we should post it for transparency.
They
It's
have their
just,
audited financial statements back to 2019.
Yeah, so they're fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good. So clean opinion, the late tax receipts come in, obviously you work with Dr. Smetana on when we need to transfer stuff from our working cash.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to her earlier about that. I mean, it's kind of been a nightmare with the way Cook County's been late, so trying to keep that consistent has created a lot of issues with all my Cook County school districts. So I'm working with GASB and ISB right now to see if there's something that we can do to kind of make that a little bit more consistent, because it's becoming an issue. It's early-ish and then now late, and I don't even think have we've received much of anything from the 2024 levy, and here we are approving a 2025 levy, which we still haven't even received any money from 2024, and I believe the 2024 levy just got sent out within the last couple weeks. That puts a burden on all these Cook County school districts. We're not getting any money in.
Yes.
Right? So
It does also impact our financial score when you look at the estimation.
does.
It will drop us to a warning level. Whereas like in a typical year, we've gotten like perfects or near perfect score.
Is that a report card metric you're talking about, or on the audit itself?
So the AFR has an estimated
Okay.
financial profile score. ISB doesn't do anything with this in terms of, especially any Cook County schools, because of the way the levy is. So what I'm doing going forward is any Cook County school district, if you're accrual, the rule is I have to accrue 60 days of property tax collection. So I have to accrue all of July and all of August collections. In the past, we've received $13 million in collections on that levy, right? This year, we received 0. So it skews your revenues, but it doesn't adjust your cash. So ISB will look at your cash number and say, okay, you're good. It's just an estimated score.
Can we have a footnote on that, so that at least it's somebody looking at it doesn't panic or say the district's obligated,
I mean, I don't think I can necessarily put it, there is a footnote in the audit that explains how the tax collections work.
Okay. And then we are delayed, okay?
Yeah, I don't think it's something you would want to just put in the MD&A. I mean, it can be explained.
It's been I mean, Kristen missed the enrollment projections by 62, and now if she gets a warning on financial records, I need to watch out for her well-being, so I want to make sure there's a footnote.
Yeah, we were supposed to bring this up and
I know, but then you brought up the delayed in property tax, so we went down the rabbit hole.
So, okay. Well, it's good that we're talking about it publicly, so that someone doesn't turn around and be like, hey,
Yeah.
our
And it's every-
District 208's in financial warning. No, we're,
It's every school district in Cook County that's accrual. It's not just this district.
Well, there's downstream ramifications to this
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and we are grateful that we have the financial wherewithal to weather these storms, but I know a
Yeah.
lot of our peer districts do not.
and Chris, lastly, it's always important to have on the public record, you're not conducting an audit of the internal controls, but you do a general scan of checks and balance. No
Yeah.
concerns with that, correct?
Correct. That, I mean, that is in the opinion as well, too, that says, I don't test controls, however, I do test certain controls if it has to do with certain provisions of laws, regulations, contracts, and grant agreements that are directly in correlation with your financial reporting. So it's kind of like, I do, but I don't. I don't say I do, but I do,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. I think those are three big things we want to take away from this.
Any additional comments for Chris? Thank you for coming out this evening.
Thanks so much,
Thank you.
Chris.
Thank you, Rita.
All right, going back to the remainder of my report, I will provide the board with financial information through the month of November, which represents 42% of the fiscal year.
Page number, Kristen.
It begins on page 44.
44.
That's fine, Tammy. 45. So the first thing is the monthly summary report. The total operating revenue for the month was $771,547, with 52% of that coming from evidence-based funding, which is our state funding, 26% coming from registration fees, and 15% coming from property tax reclassification from debt service. So what happens is once they receive the proviso township treasurer, once they receive the 2024 final tax rate from the levy, they do an adjustment. So what happens is they usually put a little extra into debt service because we're required to always pay debt service first. And then once we get the official rates from the levy, they redistribute the property tax to the appropriate funds based upon the actual levy. And so that's what happened this month. Normally, the board is not aware of this because we've received a lot of other property tax, and so it kind of offsets this. And so you don't see this nuance, but because we didn't receive a lot of revenue this month or from our property tax in August, that's why you're seeing it. And then the total operating expenditures for the month were $2,489,046, with 77% towards salary and benefits, 7% towards purchased services, and then 5% each on special education tuition and transportation. The next page begins the monthly financial statements. The summary of fund balances shows that the district has been deficit spending due to the delay in property tax revenue. The working cash interfund loan that the board approved last month will cover expenses in the ed fund for this month of November's reports as well as December. On the next page, it shows that the summary of revenues shows that the district has received 10.53% of our budgeted revenue. That's obviously going to be off from last year, which was 47.65%. The summary of expenditures shows that the district has spent roughly 40% of the budgeted expenditures for the year, and this amount slightly lower than this time last year of 43%. And then lastly, as always, I included for the board the statement of revenues and expenditures for board accounts for the month of November, as well as activity accounts for that month. And that concludes my report tonight.
Dr. Smetana, quick question on the interfund loan. Does the board need to take any action? So when the property tax proceeds do come in, they backfill? We don't need to take any additional action on that?
Correct.
Okay.
So I need like loan back.
No, it automatically, it's
ahead.
required, so it automatically repays the
Working cash.
Yeah, and I feel like you explained that before, so I apologize for
It
repeating
seems
it.
like that was,
Okay.
I remember that.
And then what you're good for November and December. We don't meet till January 20th. You'll be okay to cover all bills till then, or we think we're anticipating some collection to be coming in by then?
Both. We should be good with the loan should it not come in, but I would be hopeful that by mid-January, we are receiving some collections at that point.
Because the due date is now 12/15, so there should be some flow.
That is the hope, but we have not received any word yet from the county.
We have someone outside
Someone's
who's
going to
really,
task on
who's
somebody.
really interested in
Yeah.
property tax collections. I appreciate their interest.
Thank you, Dr. Smetana.
You're welcome.
Any more questions on her report? Are we all good? Thank you. And Dr. Freitas and student advisor.
Good evening again, honorable board members and Dr. Skinkis. For teaching and learning the month of December, can you believe it? Next week we have final exams. On Tuesday we have our period 10 exam from 12:30 to 2. So Tuesday is like a 3/4 day. And then Wednesday through Friday, those are like the half days where we end at 11:30. If a student has a study hall, parents do not have to call in. If they don't have a final exam, they do not have to call in for attendance. Lunch will not be served. However, our coffee bar, will be open for snacks, sandwiches, muffins, so students will be able to purchase and get something to eat. During the break, our staff and counselors, they're not in the building. However, if the students go through a mental health crisis or need support, the Loft, one of our community partners, they're open and available to receive, students and families. And grades will be posted on Monday, December 22nd. On the 19th, we have an important deadline coming up as a deadline for juniors to sign up for free ACT prep classes starting the week of January 19th through March 23rd. There will be before school sessions, after school sessions, and Saturday sessions. So there's no excuse why juniors can't sign up and make it, okay? There's 3 sessions, and I really want to thank Ms. Mina and a bunch of other teachers who will be leading those sessions. But again, we're prepping the juniors for success in ACT coming up. Next month, beginning of second semester, on January 5th will be our first day of second semester. It will be a late start day, starting at 8:55 a.m. For school coaches in operation, for the month of December, we send this information to all families. It's the end of semester information that includes final exam information, exemptions, many of the things I've spoken about. These things are also available on our website, and we send it via Parent Square. On December 10th, we have coffee with the principal tomorrow at 9 a.m. Parents are welcome. On the 15th, Monday, the week of final exams, I want to recognize the PTO and President Julie will be doing our annual final exam snack packs, where the PTO and its members, and thanks to parent volunteers, they put, candy, chips, health snacks, so the students have extra energy or snacks for final exams. Again, the PTO, they've done a very nice job, and all the parent volunteers and everything that has come in. On January 14th, we have Future Bulldog Night for the class of 2030 from 6 to 8 p.m. in the main gym. At this event, families will receive the results from the placement exam, recommended placement for students freshman year, and have an opportunity to speak with division head representing each department. Families will also receive information about the registration process, course selection, and registration appointment times for freshmen, which occur on Saturday, January 24th. Students will also be able to connect with our extracurricular activities. We have the sports fair, the activities fairs, so students will get it all. Furthermore, I wanted to add that our sophomores and juniors have completed their course selection for the next school year with counselors. Seniors will have their mid-year meeting with counselors in February during English classes to hear more about local scholarship opportunities and FAFSA completion. And our annual College and Career Week, held in March, we will also hold our trades fair during that month. For activities and athletics, I mean, we're busy today, we're busy throughout the holiday, and we're busy second semester, of course. All winter contests and activities are posted on our website. We also share it with the families as well. And I want to remind everyone that the community is always welcome at our events. Our Bulldogs, our student athletes, love to see a packed house and people barking for them and cheering as they pursue their love in the arts or in athletics. And that concludes my principal's report. I'd like to turn over to Arian for his student advisors to the board's report.
Ari, before you start, real quick, you mentioned the trades fair is in March,
Correct.
and then are we in our first session right now? With the plumbers union, do we have an update on the number of students?
We've always had, I'll have to double check that, but I know we've always had a handful
I think
of
Mr.
students
Durkin was
there.
actually going to give us an update later on.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Or right now. If you
No,
want
it's
to.
easier right now. We have 7 participants in the Plumbers Pilot Program. It's a new high for us. It's in the 3rd cohort, and even our first female participant out of those 7. So that's great news. We're excited. I think it's getting a little more popular. People are starting to talk. So just fortunate to have this partnership with Local 130 Plumbers. Apparently, this is the first of its kind in the country.
And Mr. Durkin, I'd like to thank you for the work you have done, because thanks to your efforts and the board, our students have an opportunity to pursue a career they love. So thank you very much, Mr. Durkin.
Thank
and
you. It's
honorable
been
board
fun.
members.
Are you going to REN, or
Yeah.
are you doing Mr. Torres?
If I can, Arian, is it? Oh, yeah. Arian, go ahead.
Yeah, so like Dr. Freitas said, our students will wrap up the semester with final exams from December 16th through 19th to help showcase all the learning and growth that they've accomplished so far. Thankfully, seniors are exempt from those if you keep your grades up, so I will be part of that along with Hannah. So we'll be at home working on college stuff. The second semester kicks off with a late start on January 5th, giving students a smooth transition into the new term and the new year. For school culture and operations, our talented student musicians took the stage for the Rock Band Winter Showcase on December 8th from 7 to 8 p.m. in the Little Theater, highlighting the creativity and dedication of our music program. The Winter Art Show on December 8th from 6 to 7 p.m. in the Art Pit also displayed the incredible artistic achievements of our students, celebrating their creativity and vision, which can be seen even now they're still up there. Juniors and their families were invited to College Night tonight in the Little Theater, an evening dedicated to exploring post-secondary opportunities and planning for their future, which is a great start to get on top of as juniors. Our holiday concert will feature tomorrow, and is featuring right now, performances from our band, choir, and orchestra in the auditorium, spreading cheer and showcasing our students' musical talents. They've been working very hard on that. Hannah's there right now, and I know she's been talking about it a lot, so I'm sure they're having a blast down there. The Student Association is leading a coat and blanket drive until December 10th, helping our community stay warm this winter with collection boxes around the school. And the National Honor Society is hosting a final study table on December 11th from 2 to 4 p.m. in the cafeteria, offering students extra support and a focused space for exam preparation. I'm on the executive board for that, so people have been signing up to help tutor, and people have also been signing up to bring in snacks for anyone who needs a little pick-me-up. And then finally, our students rallied for the Special Olympics Pack the Place event on December 5th at 4 p.m. in the main gym, cheering on athletes and showing our school spirit and commitment to inclusion for all.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the report.
Madam President, I would like to introduce now Mr. Phil Torres, our Assistant Principal of Athletics, who will present the fall athletic report.
Absolutely.
Mr. Torres?
Last report, but certainly not least.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. I do want to piggyback on what he said. If you missed it, we did do for the first time a triple header for boys and girls basketball that incorporated our Special Olympics team this past Friday. It was well received. The students came out, and we're going to look to, we don't always control the conference schedule, but we're going to try to keep that moving forward as the years go on, to do a triple header, involve all our basketball programs together. So I do have the fall reports. If you look at the participation and pay to participate comparisons over the years, if you look just compared to last year, we are up about 41 students that participated in fall sports this year compared to last year. Our 5-year average is about 457 student athletes for the fall sports. We're kind of keeping pace in terms of the participation fees and collections year over year, and as well as the waived fees as well for the student athletes. Are there any questions in terms of that? And then just a kind of quick summary.
I think we have one question
Oh,
from
sorry.
Ms. Russell.
So we're keeping pace on, collecting the funds for the student. Do we have any students that were not able to participate because of funds?
No, they would have fell into the waived.
Waived their payment plan, right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So,
Any other questions?
no, nothing.
Okay. Just to briefly summarize our fall sports highlights, because I do got a basketball game to go back down to. We had another successful, awesome fall season. This past season, our teams won 4 conference championships. Those championships were all back-to-back, so that's girls volleyball, girls tennis, and boys and girls golf. They continue to excel with our conference. We had 35 student athletes earn Upstate 8 all-conference honors this fall, and then we had an additional 119 varsity students who earned all academic all-conference honors, which is an unweighted GPA of 3.5 or higher. So not only are we doing very good things on the field or courts, but we're also taking care of business in the classroom, which is awesome to see, and a credit to our coaches for emphasizing that. Some other highlights, we had our boys and girls golf teams as a team. They qualified for sectionals, which was an awesome feat because we are not in very easy regionals. So for them to be able to get out of that as a team and participate in sectionals is quite the accomplishment and feat. We also had our boys and girls cross country teams that qualified as a team for sectionals, which was an awesome accomplishment for them as well. We had 3 state qualifiers who you got to see and meet tonight, so I don't need to elaborate upon that. And then our football team had a stellar turnaround from last year, finishing 4-5 to finishing 8-1 in the regular season, and we were able to host a home playoff game. So our numbers continue to grow in football, and we're looking forward to building upon this past season and keeping that momentum going into next year.
Any questions from the board?
I'm looking, no? Thank you very much for the report.
Thank you for
Who's
having
playing
me.
right now? You better get back.
Yeah, the boys basketball. Well, everybody's playing Ridgewood. The girls are at Ridgewood where the
Okay.
boys are here.
So is that how it works, Mr. Now
For
that
the weekday games, for the most part. on
one's home, the boys are home, the girls are away, vice versa? Okay. Thank you.
Mr.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, we do have, I think we had one FOIA.
One FOIA, Matt
Report
Stockwell,
out.
Data Branch. The report is in the scope of the request, as well as the documents that were provided.
And there were no questions on that. Seeing none, we had the audit report already completed. No visitor comments this evening, and so we can move on to consent agenda. Ms. Gaska?
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, takes the following action on the listed consent agenda items. Approves minutes from the meetings held on November 11, 2025, open and closed sessions, as presented in the December 9, 2025 Board Agenda Packet.
Can we have a second, please?
Second.
Second from Mr. Durkin, and all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We can move on to, I don't think we have any, I'm sorry, I lost track there real quick. Life safety items, capital improvement, sustainability, nothing there specifically, but we do have the 2025 tax levy.
We need to formally adopt that.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
This one's a lot of words here.
This is long. Whereas the Board of Education of Riverside Brookfield Township High School District Number 208, Cook County, Illinois, has determined the amount of money that is necessary to be raised by taxation for the year 2025. And whereas the Board of Education has heretofore adopted a budget resolution for the district for the fiscal year commencing July 1, 2025 and ending June 30, 2026. And whereas the Board of Education disclosed at a public meeting its intention to adopt a levy, and whereas the Board of Education provided notice of its intent to adopt a levy, now therefore be it, and it is hereby resolved by the Board of Education of Riverside Brookfield Township High School District Number 208, Cook County, Illinois, as follows. 1, that there shall be and there is hereby levied by the board the amount set forth on Exhibit A attached hereto and made a part of this resolution, which is a certificate of tax levy for the year 2025. And 2, that the board president and board secretary are hereby authorized to execute the certificate of tax levy and supporting forms and certifications, and the district administration is hereby authorized and directed to file the certificate of tax levy and all supporting forms and certifications with the county clerk of Cook County, Illinois.
Can we have a second, please?
Second.
A second from Mr. Novak. And we need a roll call.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Mr. Novak?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Salas?
Yes.
Mr. Caputo?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gasko?
Yes.
Tax levy passes. Looking at the next agenda item is the 26-27 school calendar. This is for adoption this evening, correct, Dr.?
We can adopt it this evening if the board would like to. I have met with the feeder schools. They are on the same page with the breaks. Obviously, we all start a day or two off from each other as far as the scheduled spring break and winter break. That's been reviewed and agreed upon. And then Dr. Smetana was working to get feedback from the operations committee, which is the RBA and administration, about the first day of school. So first institute, and that will be on Thursday, August 13th. Then the staff will have a 3-day weekend before students start on August 17th. So I believe this is finalized and ready for approval tonight.
We did see this previously, I think, in draft form, so this shouldn't be a surprise.
So you said that the spring break hasn't been set yet?
No,
it's here.
the spring break has been agreed upon with the feeder schools.
Oh, got it. Sorry, I missed it.
Spring break and winter break. The union had asked, when I first gave the first read to the board in November, the union had asked to survey their membership to see if they want the first institute on the 13th or 14th of August. And so they came back with the 13th. This way teachers can use the 14th either to have a 3-day weekend or to come in and work on their classroom and get themselves organized.
Gotcha. I'm personally in favor of moving this tonight so families can plan accordingly unless there's any objection. We can go ahead.
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, adopts the 2026-2027 school calendar, providing for the opening day of school on Monday, August 17, 2026, and the ending day of school on Thursday, May 27, 2027, if no emergency days are used, for a total school term of 186 days as presented in the December 9, 2025 board agenda packet.
Can we have a second, please?
Second.
Second from Mr. Durkin, and it's all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Seeing none, we can move on. The school maintenance project grant.
This is a second read if I'm not mistaken, and Dr. Smetana did add one additional project.
Good evening. Yes, in addition to the campus improvements that we talked about at the last meeting, I added the project for improving or remodeling the existing faculty cafeteria to create both a conference room and cafeteria for the staff.
Any questions on this? Are we comfortable moving ahead with it this evening? It's a grant application? Okay.
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, approves the school maintenance project grant application as presented in the December 9, 2025 board agenda packet.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Williams. And we do need a roll call.
Ms. Salas?
Yes.
Mr. Caputo?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gasko?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Mr. Novak?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
That carries. We can move on to the canteen vending machine contract renewal. We had a briefing on this at our last board meeting as well.
Yes,
Do we have any oh, go ahead.
I provided where we currently are with negotiations, so it's a draft of the contract. They came back, Canteen came back and accepted many of our requests. There's just a few minor issues that I need to go back to them with, but I was hoping the board would approve the contract tonight pending legal counsel review, so that we can get this approved before January 20th.
And that's in the resolution, correct? Pending final
Correct,
review
yep.
by legal counsel?
Yeah, that's been included in the resolution. Any objections to that? So we've had a
No,
few
we
times to
had
look
the
at this.
discussion about looking at the tool and how often we go out to bid and everything last time. And so
Correct.
next time, we'll look at that again.
Well, this one is revenue generating though. This is not, this
Well,
is
just-
dissimilar from the others.
Well, it doesn't matter. There could be maybe 3 years from now, another vending company that's also revenue generating, so. It's always good to look. Does it mean?
I did
you have to-
informally reach out to several local districts, and if they have vending, it seems like Canteen is the only one that's currently being utilized by the schools that I reached out to. But we can do a more systematic look at it next time it comes up.
At the time of the next.
How often do they have to service the machine, meaning fill the machines with more materials?
It depends on the time of year. I believe they come, I don't know. I believe they come weekly, but it depends. Yeah, they usually come weekly, but it depends. Like if we've got a big event, like if we've got like in the summer we have the summer shootout, right? Then they might come more often. But they're very responsive. If we have an issue, they come out to service the machines.
Yeah, they're here at least once or twice a week. I mean, I see them once a week.
Any additional considerations for Canteen? No? Okay, we can move ahead.
The Board of Education Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby approves the vending machine contract with Canteen pending final review by legal counsel as presented in the December 9, 2025 board agenda packet.
So moved. We need a second.
Second.
Second from Mr. Williams, and that's a roll call, please.
Mr. Caputo.
Yes.
Mr. Durkin.
Yes.
Ms. Gaska.
Yes.
Ms. Ruska.
Yes.
Mr. Novak.
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Salas.
Yes. We do have the intent resolution for tax-exempt working cash fund bonds. But any further additional discussion on this, or we want to move forward this evening so that we can,
Yeah, we need to move forward according to our timeline.
right?
Again, this is not official, this is just the intent to issue.
By approving it tonight, it authorizes the publication of the notice to initiate the 30-day petition period, which is required by the state, so that we can issue the working cash fund bonds in January, should we choose to do so at that time.
Okay.
The Board of Education Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois hereby approves a resolution declaring the intention to issue not to exceed $4,500,000 in working cash fund bonds of Township High School District Number 208, Cook County, Illinois, for the purpose of increasing the working cash fund of said school district and directing that notice of such intention be published in the manner provided by law as presented in the December 9, 2025 board agenda packet.
So moved. Is there a second?
No second.
Second from Mr. Novak, and we do need a roll call.
Mr. Durkin.
Yes.
Ms. Gaska.
Yes.
Ms. Ruska.
Yes.
Mr. Novak.
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Salas.
Yes.
Mr. Caputo.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Moving on to new business, we have a couple of items. Payment of bills. I don't believe any questions were submitted regarding this payment of bills. If everyone's comfortable, we can go ahead and move forward.
The Board of Education Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois approves the payment of bills as presented in the December 9, 2025 board agenda packet.
So moved. Do you need a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Williams, and a roll call, please.
Ms. Gaska.
Yes.
Ms. Ruska.
Yes.
Mr. Novak.
Yes.
Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Salas.
Yes.
Mr. Caputo.
Yes.
Mr. Durkin.
Yes.
Revised district goals. Dr. Skinkis, do you want to speak to these?
Yeah, the board has seen these now for about 3 months. The final goals are as follows, as listed. Again, we're using, through our district mission statement and the equity lens, maximize the curricular days to foster academic rigor, new opportunities, and social emotional supports so that all students are college and career ready at graduation. You heard Dr. Freitas today talk about the 3 opportunities for ACT prep, as well as Mr. Durkin talk about the apprenticeship program. So I think we're well off continuing to work on these, and we will continue to make strides. Number 2, increase the opportunities and methods for two-way engagement with all stakeholders of the RBHS community. I think we have some opportunities for two-way engagement, as we discussed tonight with the RBA and with our student board members. So those will be some things we can continue to build upon. Prepare and implement a 5 to 10 year facility plan that expands the district's footprint and addresses all essential repair and replacement needs. I think you saw a rough draft of that tonight, as well as in my report you heard that tomorrow we're meeting with the architect and construction manager. The board took a first step of that tonight by issuing the intent to issue possibly $4.5 million in capital bonds, capital working cash bonds. And number 4 is maintain responsible budgeting while investing in staff and programs directly affecting student outcomes in the district's physical plan. And there has been no comments submitted for any changes.
And just to reiterate the process, we would then, I think the anticipation is the administration will take each of these goals over the second semester and start developing specific outcomes for 26, 27.
Correct.
Okay. So everyone's comfortable with that approach. We could go ahead and move forward.
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, approves the revised district goals as presented in the December 9, 2025 board agenda packet.
So moved. We have a second.
I'll second.
Second from Mr. Novak. All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? We can move forward. Thanks for everyone's work on that. Press Plus policy issue, 120, I believe we're meeting, you indicated in
Yeah,
January,
it does not need to
February.
be approved or finalized. It has to be approved or finalized before the end of February. So the goal would be to try to get the council together in January and approve it at the first meeting in February. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I would say the sooner you put out a poll and see when we're available, we can get something scheduled.
Okay.
So that'd be great. Thank you. Natural gas contract.
Dr. Smetana, you want to touch on this?
So the district's current agreement for natural gas with Constellation expires on June 30th, 2026. The best time to typically go to the market is before the winter season hits. And on November 20th, I asked the district's energy consultant, the NIA, to go to the market for natural gas just to see where the market was at for us. The district's current supplier, Constellation, was the lowest price for both 36 and 48-month term rates. And at this time, those rates were 5 to 6% below the district's current rate of 0.497 per therm. So since gas prices are constantly changing and it's impossible to lock in a rate, I'm asking the board to give the administration the authority to enter into a natural gas contract with gas prices not to exceed our current rate. The master agreement with Constellation would stay into effect that we approved the last time we went through this, and we would just, the administration would just sign an updated transaction confirmation should we be able to lock in a rate lower than that. I've provided the board a sample transaction confirmation. The language is the exact same as the current transaction confirmation that we have with them. You know, should gas prices rise above that, or we feel like we can get a better rate, I would wait to sign with Constellation, and if needed, we could always go back out to the market to provide updated pricing from the 3 natural gas suppliers.
Any questions or comments on that? It's a bit of a mouthful, but I think we can move forward.
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, approves a resolution giving the administration the authority to enter into a natural gas contract with gas prices not to exceed $0.497 per therm as presented in the December 9, 2025 board agenda packet.
So moved. We have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Williams. And we do need a roll call since it's financial.
Mr. Novak?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Salas?
Yes.
Mr. Caputo?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gaska?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Last but not least, we have disposal of surplus personal property.
Yes, we do this twice a year, and typically in July. and December. And so I've attached the list of surplus furniture, textbooks, and building equipment that is either outdated or is in poor condition that we are looking to dispose of whenever possible. We try to sell it, recycle it, or donate the equipment. More often we're in the recycle and donate because the things that we are looking to get rid of are typically something that nobody else wants and in very poor condition.
Are there any questions on this from anyone? Anyone's had a chance to look at the list?
I'm just wondering why we had a half-size double base. That's for a little kid. That's like an elementary school kid.
It could have been a donation, right? Could have been.
Maybe. Yeah, that wouldn't be a high school kid size.
Don't know. It's not functional now.
No, I've seen it. It's very not functional.
Yeah. Any more questions or comments, or I think we can move forward, Ms. Gaska?
Whereas the superintendent has recommended and the Board of Education has determined that certain surplus personal property listed on the attached Exhibit 1, surplus personal property, belonging to the district is no longer needed for school purposes and should be sold. And whereas the Board of Education has determined that the sale of the surplus personal property in accordance with Section 10-22.8, 105 ILCS 510-22.8 at a public or private sale is in the best interest of the district. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Education of Riverside Brookfield School District 208, Cook County, Illinois as follows. Section 1, that the superintendent is hereby authorized to dispose of the surplus personal property by public or private sale in a manner which is in the best interest of the district. Section 2, in the event that any such property remains unsold, the superintendent may dispose of it in a manner which is in the best interest of the school district. Section 3, the superintendent shall report to the board the item sold, the buyer, and the amount received for each item.
So moved. Can we have a second? Second from Mr. Williams. We need a roll call, please.
Ms. Salas?
Yes.
Mr. Caputo?
Yes.
Mr. Durkin?
Yes.
Ms. Gaska?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Mr. Novak?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Okay, that motion carries. We don't have any visitor comments this evening. Board of Education discussion items. I think we covered your item, Mr.
Yes.
Durkin. Does anyone else have a discussion item?
I just want to mention we were at conference last month, and what a privilege, it is. We have a professional development for our staff, and then just for the district to provide that for us. I went to the 3 plenary sessions, and they were just amazing. The one, and I bought a couple of the books, so I'll bring them in January to share. The one on Saturday was the author of Be a Coffee Bean. And to hear his story from, an A&M college athlete to 65 years incarcerated in a Texas maximum security prison, how he fell all the way down from grace and then changed his life so that he was paroled and now is out talking. And this book is now translated in every single language around the world. And it came from a man he met in prison who said you put 3 things in boiling water. You put a carrot, an egg, and a coffee bean. And he was kind of preparing him from what he would expect in life in maximum security prison. And just the amount of lessons. And when he went through that, he said, well, the carrot gets soft and disintegrates. The egg gets hard. And he says, most people, that'll probably happen to you. He said, but a bean changes the water and makes coffee. And he really took that to heart. When he got out of prison, he tried to find that person, and that person had passed away. So he found the person's family and started a scholarship for students in the name of this person that he met in prison. And so many lessons that he just gave everybody in the audience from this book and his life story as he goes around. He was kind of funny talking about he's always in the back of his mind. I'm in parole until, 2070. I have 65 years maximum security sentence. I am a parolee for the next 45 years. That is my reality, and here he is, this huge speaker. So it was very well received. And then there was another one, an engagement speaker on Sunday morning who was just so on point on what we do and getting people engaged in what we're doing in education. They talked about the top who are, they want to do everything. There's that bottom who, no matter how you spin it, it's always negative. And then there's that complacent middle. And what do you do with that complacent middle? So very, that was also very enlightening. Those are speakers we'd never have the chance to see on our own. Couldn't afford to see them, couldn't afford to bring them in. I'm so grateful that, the Triple I, they bring everybody, all the educators and board members together, and they have that opportunity. And, just the different meetings that you meet there. So thank you. Thank you for the board. And, it was definitely well received. And I'll share what some of the little trinkets I had in January. I don't know if anyone else said.
Well, thank you for being our ambassador.
Oh, yeah, the delegate meeting was quick.
Anyone else? Any other items? I think we can move on to matters for closed session. Employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body, student discipline related to individual student matters, purchase, sale, or lease of real property, probable imminent or pending litigation, collective negotiations, school safety, and confidentiality of closed session minutes. Ms. Gasko.
The Board of Education, Township High School District 208, Cook County, Illinois, enters closed session for the purpose of considering closed session matters as presented in the December 9, 2025 Board Agenda Packet.
So moved. Second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Williams. All in favor of moving to our second closed session of the evening? In favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. It's 8:14.